Dear friends and family, and general public, this is the one and only free episode on the website Substack. It's the episode where I beg for money. Dear friends and family, if you just watched that video, you just saw me take 3 grams of an unknown substance that I found on a bench in a park near my house. If I die, this is my last recording. Make sure it goes viral. Make sure the Grace Foundation becomes a real thing. Oh, and don't pay my taxes. Fuck the government. Train. I did do a Google search before I ingested this substance. It's supposed to help with stress or your heart or something. I have no fucking idea. Some old Chinese herb. Dear friends and family, past, present, future. This is the one and only time I'm going to beg, so to speak, for help, or suggest you help, or request. Technically, I don't need it. I could go on like this forever. But it's not helping me, and it's not helping anyone else. So listen to my proposal. Get your ass on board. You can pick the windiest seat. The place I want to sit, I can't because there's an old Filipino guy sitting there right now. When he sits there, I normally talk to him. It feels rude to pull out a Kindle and start recording. So I'm letting him sit there by himself while I record at a sunny bench. Then when he leaves, I'll go back up there. Day in the life of Dave. Lawn bowlers are back. It's a warm day. It's the summer-like day. So I guess they're trying to get their last pitch in on the pitch. Toss in on the pitch. Kids playing in the playground. Pretty girls walking by. Romantic couple on the bench next to me. How exciting this life is. Freddy. I'll come back when the wind goes down. Can't talk with someone talking behind me or around me unless it's a little kid in the playground. That one's fine. I can't talk when the wind's fucking blowing in my head. Stop just as I said that. I guess I do control the weather. I'm not even Jewish. Before I continue this insane comedy script about comedians ending homelessness, I need a quick word. Friends, family. I'm now all in on this school of comedy, batshit movie idea. Actually, let's call it a series idea. This is way too fucking long for a movie. 10 episodes. Tell this fucking story. Train. Fast train. I guess the good thing about the park is The train's already almost at full speed by the time it gets here. So just a little Doppler effect and it's gone. Whereas at home, it's the whole fucking pulling up into the station with screeching brakes. Maybe I should get TransLink and Tim Hortons. I mean, if one train can go by without the screeching, then technically every single train should be able to go by without the screeching. Do whatever you did with the first fucking train and do with all the rest of the fucking trains. Simple fucking solution. God damn it. Seems so easy, Betty. Grace. Listener. Squiggly person. And Smurfs. I like Smurfs all of a sudden. That stuff in the package just tastes like those green powders. Especially when it's mixed in with some weak ass coffee. I'm now all in on this, the School of Comedy, batshit series idea. Joe Rogan, Morgan Freeman as God, and a posse of comics fixing the world's shittiest problem, homelessness. It's funny, it's raw, and I need you to back it. Here's the deal. Sign up for a monthly membership, $5 US, because I'm not writing this for the schools in my backyard. $5 a month gets you in the door, reading every unhinged word I churn out as I build the script into a perfect series right before your eyes. You'll see the sprawling ideas reduced to a poetic that reads definitely would not be my thing. You'll see the sprawling ideas reduced to a poetic, comedic masterpiece, all while actually ending homelessness. Either way, the movie becomes a reality, and then the story of how I made it goes viral, and then I give all away the beep boom boom boom. I'm not ready to talk yet. The wind went down, and I got my confidence back up. Romantic couples walking away. They're not holding hands. They're not that romantic. Both walking kind of funny too. They're just sitting on a bench. Really need that body cam. I swear these two are walking like they're... I don't know. Let's try this again. Here's the deal. Sign up for a monthly membership. $5 US. Because I'm not writing this fucking story for the squirrels in my backyard. $5 a month gets you in the fucking door, reading every fucking unhinged word I churn out as I build this fucking script into a perfect movie right before your fucking eyes. You'll see the sprawling ideas reduced to a poetic, comedic, fucking masterpiece, all while actually ending homelessness. If you've been listening to this podcast up to this episode, you'll see why some people need to swear in every sentence just to get it out. Either way, the movie becomes a reality, and then the story of how I made it goes viral, and then I give away all the profits from the movie to the Grace Foundation, and that goes viral, etc., etc., etc. And a movement is born, maybe. All that can happen whether Betty is real or not, or imaginary, or fictionary, or all three at one point in time, or none. Or friends and family, past, present, future. I'll literally use the $5 for coffee. If any of you read or listen to my previous site, davegervais.substack.com, and laughed even once, you owe me. Actually, that's two statements there. Train. I should probably talk through these trains. I'll literally, actually it's not an or, I'll literally use the first $5 for coffee. And if any of you read or listened to my previous site, davegervais.substack.com, and laughed even once, you owe me that. You owe me the $5 a month for 1 year. But just sign up for the $5 a month and then just kind of forget. Unsubscribe from the emails. Forget about the site. When you see it on your bill, just pretend you're helping a homeless dude in the Greater Vancouver area. And leave it at that. And then you don't have to hear my voice, you don't have to read my words. Just know you're doing a good deed. So if 1,000 people sign up, most of that money will go to actual homeless people, not semi-homeless people like myself. Or drop $240 for the yearly deal and you're locked in for the ride. I realize this is 4 times as much as the monthly, but everything past the first $60 will be donated to the homeless people in my neighborhood. I'll buy them pizza or give them a gift card for food/supplies. That's true, exactly what I would do. It's kind of like a reverse mafia. I take my cut off the top, and that first $60 is mine, $5 a month. And then the rest goes to the Grace Foundation, which basically makes the Grace Foundation like a mafia. Maybe I'll write about who... I think I'm just going to talk through those trains. Maybe I'll write about who I help and how, but I'm not going to record them on camera. I might record some audio for proof, but I won't post without their permission. Or if you got balls and $1,000 Canadian, mind you, slap down $1,000 and I'll call you a movie producer. I'll share some of the movie profits with you. Gotta change movie to series. I'll share some of the series profits with you. You might get 10 times your cash back in profits, or fuck all, nothing. But imagine the story you could tell your friend or family member. What about boobity-bee-doo-doo-doo? But imagine a story you could tell of your friend or family member who's living like a homeless person while writing countless movies in his head with his telepathic wife Betty. Don't forget to mention that he recorded 170 episodes of Dear Grace for Betty. Didn't get paid a dime. Didn't get a single like, not a single comment. Whatever. Probably be dead in about an hour anyways. This Chinese herb hits my system. My heart goes pitter patter patter pitter. Oh well, at least I'll be on a park bench with a phone in my hand and a Kobo in my lap. Not in my room. Member who's living like a homeless person while writing countless movies in his head with his telepathic wife Betty. Hell, I think that's worth $1,000. Or at least $250. Remember, that $1,000 isn't just for the flick. It's going to feed the homeless people, or anyone who looks like they need a slice and a hug. Not a shrug, a hug. A slice and a hug. I'll probably roll up with a pizza cart and yell, "Who wants a fucking pizza?" The first lonely bastard I see, or anyone equally as lonely as I am. Probably Al Capone. It's a Dear Grace joke. Al Capone is a probably homeless guy that talks to himself that I give change to. It's the only person I give money to. Your money fuels this chaos, and I'll write about every damn second of it. So you, listener, reader, whatever the fuck you are, $5 a month is pocket change to join this madness. Or be cheap. Create a new trial account each week. I don't really care. Actually, I do. Don't be cheap. I'm just screaming into the void, and that's only funny until the cops show up. David J. Or, here's a free site with all sorts of comedy to entertain your cheap ass. I'm going to assume, listener, that you've already listened to episodes 13, 14, and 15. And you already know what I'm talking about when I say squiggly. If you don't, squiggly is my term for LBGT plus whatever, blah blah blah. If you want to hear the original concept, go listen to those episodes. Otherwise, I call myself the world's greatest comedian who's ever been on stage. Not necessarily because I believe that, but because I do believe. I've discovered a writing process that works for me, and the old Filipino guy is gone, so we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Lawn bowlers are taking a break too. Except for some guy, lawn bowler, I must be looking for birds. There's one of the lawn bowlers has some binoculars, and I'm thinking, what the fuck is that pervert looking at? I think everyone's a pervert at a park. If you like that sort of humor, it's only $5 a month. The old Filipino guy used to be a hairdresser. I need a haircut desperately, but I refuse. Do I get 10 monthly subscribers? Or 2 yearly? Or one founding / producer? Which I've already kind of explained in those past episodes as well. If AI picked up anything, that was a mother and kid walking by, talking English. That sounded racist, I don't know why. Now I'm really far away from the train, so I'm going to talk right through it. I'm going to read out all the squiggly bits from the last 3 or 4 episodes. This is my process. I'm just saving Joe Rogan time for when he interviews me on his podcast. Like, what's your process? What's your process? Like, this is my fucking process, Joe. I go to the park, I get stoned, and I fucking write my ass off. When I have money for weed. If I don't have money for the weed, then I go to the park, I get angry, and I write my ass off. Or I go to the park, I look at all the cute little kids having fun, breaks my fucking heart, and then I write. Or Grace pops into my head, demanding her money. She doesn't want me to start the foundation under her name for anything less than $1 million. I understand, but all right, raw squiggly bits. In a second, in the shade, brighten my old Hobo. It is stream of consciousness, but it seems to be the only way it works for me. Otherwise, I'm thinking, shit, that might have been funny. Or, as an example, there's a cute little kid coming down one of those little three-wheel scooter things. Two in the front, one in the back. Can't be more than 2 years old. Cute as fuck. Mom with baby carriage in behind. This is my fucking nightmare. She's on FaceTime. Hi. Oh, there you go, listener. Day in the life of Dave. Cute little fucking kid says hi to me. Bastard. How dare he be all cute, adorable, and innocent. Speaking of innocent, I have the volleyball crowd coming out today. Don't know if that's because it's Sunday or it's because it's sunny out. Alright. This is fascinating. This guy's got to change his shoes. Need that body cam. Alright, raw squiggly bits. Straight and non-sex. Straight being you only want to fuck the opposite sex. Non-straight being you're willing to look at your options. The problem is non-straight sounds stupid to say. Gay would have worked except for the males. The male gaze took it over. Well, they didn't take it over. Culture just saw it that way. You have to move. You find just the right place of sun and shade. Unfortunately, that means I may have to go back to that fucking bench I was just on. Best laid plans. I think that's the first cliche of the day. Bowlers are done with their break. I'm not sure how long this has been. This one might be longer than 30 minutes because I'm going to go through all these squiggly bits just to prove a point. I guess not prove a point, but to show Joe Rogan my process. Just to spout off shit for a few days. Let Grok compile it back for me. Because that's exactly what AI should be doing. Or I'd much rather hire an assistant, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon. All right. Perfect. 24 minutes in. I'm done begging. This is sort of the comedy you can get for $5 a month. If you think it's funny, entertaining, thought-provoking, stupid, silly, brilliant, moronic, dipshit-like, whatever. Don't care. Number 1. Acronym overload fix. Straight and non-straight. Straight being you only want to fuck the opposite sex. Non-straight being you're willing to look at your options. The problem is non-straight sounds stupid to say. Gay would have worked except for gay would have worked for everything except for the male gays took it over. Well, they didn't take it over. It started with them. Culture just fuck me. Culture just saw it that way. I'm not sure they saw it that way. This isn't meant to be a gay history lesson. It's meant to be a joke and just finally trying to get it. So straight makes sense. And just think of it like the alphabet. A to Z, straight, A, B, C, D, E, blah, blah, blah. And the acronym people, or the initial people, are on the right track. Their initials don't go from A to Z. It's just whatever, in whatever order, which makes sense for their group. So I see it as a straight line, and then not a straight line. What's another word for not straight? Train. Well, that's ironic. Train, when an actual train goes by. Maybe not ironic, but coincidental. Serendipity. Who the fuck knows? Also, not straight has no flair. Also, not straight has no flair. Gay has a little bit of flair. Homosexual is too hard to say, or too long to say, and all the other ones are too hard to remember. No, straight and bent would be good, except for bent makes it sound like they're doing something wrong, or they're dumb. Just can't use bent. Can't use crooked. Sounds like a thief. So my solution is squiggly. Either you're straight or you're squiggly, because a squiggle is just that. It's not perfect. It goes up and goes down. It goes left, it goes right. It goes in and goes out. And there can be varying degrees of squiggles. Actually, I shouldn't say not perfect. I should say a squiggle is unique. I apologize profusely to all the squiggles listening to this. This is called editing. Live editing. Live writing, live editing, live performing. Why the fuck are other comedians so fucking lazy? They only do the live performing? I say that as a fly flies into my fucking ear. If this is a simulation, how do they simulate flies? But serious, other comedians. Why so lazy? Live write, live edit, live perform. I guess some comedians do that on stage. And most of them are probably just getting stoned or drunk in the park. Or they have all their... I don't really give a shit. So my solution is squiggly. You're either straight or you're squiggly. Because a squiggle is just that. It's unique. It goes any way it wants to. Left or right, up and down, around and around. And there can be varying degrees of squiggles. And the good thing about squiggles is you don't have to be an artist to draw one. Anyone can draw a squiggle, and it doesn't have to mean anything. It just can't be straight. Number 2, anti-slur shield. Not only because it encompasses I've trained myself not to speak if a train goes by. Pun number 1 of the day. Maybe 2. Number 2, anti-slur shield. Not only because it encompasses them all. only because fuck me. Here's another benefit for only $5 a month, US dollars. 7 Canadian if you're wondering. I'll eventually get back to the telepathy part of this story. And I mean the real life part. Part of what it's like to have a real or imaginary friend in your head. Even the imaginary one would seem more real than the real one. But back to Squiggly. So I see it as a straight line, and then not a straight line. What's another word for not straight? Train. Also, not straight has no flair. Gay has a little bit of flair. Homosexual is too hard to say, or too long to say, and all the other ones are too hard to remember. No, straight and bent would be good, except for bent makes it sound like they're doing something wrong, or they're dumb. Can't use bent. Can't use crooked, sounds like a thief. So my solution is squiggly. You're either straight or you're squiggly, because a squiggle is just that. It's unique to the person. It goes any way it wants to. Left, right, up, down, in, out. And there can be varying degrees of squiggles, and anyone can draw a squiggle. Number 2, anti-slur shield. Not only because it encompasses them all, it's fun to say. Not only it will encompass everyone. See, Joe, I just wait for a train to come by, and I'll clear my thought. Not only does it encompass everyone not straight, it's fun to say squiggle. And it's hard to get into a fight with a squiggle. It's much easier to get in a fight with a fag or a homo. But you're not going to walk up and say, hey, you fucking squiggle. How fucking dare you come into my fucking bar, squiggle? This doesn't work. Train. Spectrum sidetrack, number 3. If you think about it, it's really more of a spectrum anyways. It's more like the autism thing, except for I'm trying to get rid of that autism or the DSM-5, like the gay community. The gay community at the time got gayness removed from the DSM-5. In case the listener didn't know that, homosexuality used to be a mental condition until they protested it out of the DSM-5 and made it into a identity. I intend to do the same with autism. That's just kind of ruined. That just kind of ruined the whole vibe for the joke. But oh well. The joke is, instead of LGBT, blah blah blah, use squiggly, because it's like a spectrum. How much it squiggles is up to you, and nobody cares what somebody else's squiggle is. How much you squiggle is up to you, and nobody cares what someone else's squiggle is, or they shouldn't care what someone else's squiggle is. Either way. Let's see if we can hear the lawn bowlers. They're only 15 feet away from me. Also, that Chinese herb I have been consuming might be fucking with my stomach a little bit. I'm not sure. The worst that'll happen is I'll throw up. make sure I record that audio part at least. By the way, I've also found pre-rolled joints at this park, like the packaged ones, in an open package. I think there's 1 or 2 left. I smoked them. Could have been laced with whatever. Who gives a fuck? I'd say this group of lawn bowlers seem to be a little bit lame. The other guys used to throw it much further. But anyways, back to Squiggly. Number 4, discount proof. Tell you what, if you're Squiggly and you can prove it, I'll give you a 5% discount to the yearly or founding member packages on my Substack site. 5% off. All you have to do is prove it. Please do not send a photo. I do not want a photo. I want a very short story, from 1 sentence to 1 paragraph long, or more if you want, explaining why you're Squiggly. Or if that's too much for you to do, then just draw a squiggle on a piece of paper, take a picture of it, and send me that. Number 5, offensive flip. By the way, if you're LGB plus whatever, and you're offended by my squiggly joke, why? Wouldn't you rather be called squiggly than a faggot? I would. Number 6, flag scribble. Plus, anyone can make a gay parade flag, or I guess a squiggly parade flag, just by taking a white sheet or a white flag, I guess, and drawing or painting a squiggle on it. Or a white flag, I guess, and drawing or painting a squiggle on it. You can draw or paint. If anyone needs an expert in formatting documents for e-readers, let me know. Sign up to be a member, founding member. I'll even do some for free. All right. Or if you're a supporter of the squiggly community, you can just have your white flag and put a straight line down it. And then, if you already have it, or if you already have a gay parade flag, or these new ones that have the different colors, or I don't know, there's probably 50 different ones by now, you can still use it. It's kind of like a hockey jersey. It's just an old version of the jersey. You can still wear it to the game. And to update it, all you have to do is throw a squiggle on it. Get a big Jiffy marker out and put a big squiggle on there. And you've got yourself your perfect squiggle day parade flag. Another brilliant idea. Grok, extract that idea. Turn it into something funny. Maybe I'll record it. Put it up as a note. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just keep killing time, so I don't have to read the next scene. Number 7. There's a lady lying in the sun behind me. Right on the sign of the city I'm in. No respect. Sitting there soaking up the sun. As I do in my North Face hoodie. Back to the sun. Black hoodie, just absorbing ultraviolet rays directly into my red neck. train. Number 7, tattoo. Also, if you're squiggly and you want to show it, you can just get a tattoo of a squiggle. And you can almost do it yourself. And you can almost do it yourself because it doesn't have to be perfect. Maybe don't tattoo yourself, but ask for a discount. Because if it's only a squiggle, how hard is that for a tattoo artist? And then later, if you decide you want to go back to straighthood, then you can easily cover up a squiggle. A lot easier than a big old gay pride, gay flag, whatever. Number 8, pride versus discounts. Look, it's been 5 minutes and still easier to say squiggle than anything else. LBG, blah, blah, blah. How many people can remember that? If you're not in the movement, you can't remember it. Now, why is there a movement anyways? It's not like you can get a discount. At least if you're a senior, you can get a discount. You can't go into a restaurant and say, hey, I'm squiggly, give me 10% off. I guess it's just a pride thing. I get that. You're proud of what you do behind closed doors with your body to other people, or accept from other people, with a person, multiple people, naked, furry, BDSM, whatever. I mean, I guess I'm just too boring in the bedroom. 9, train obsession. A couple of trains. Maybe you like trains. Maybe you like running a train, having a train run. Maybe you like watching a train, like trains, going back and forth every 2 or 3 minutes. And then the train. That had nothing to do with squiggly. Grok, I don't know why it extracted that. It's funny, but 10, loose anatomy. My last point about squiggly. Think about a straight man. Most of them are kind of straight. They sit straight, stand straight, not real flexible. Where a gay man or squiggly man is a bit more animated, a bit more loose, which makes sense if you think about it. If your body has to be, think about it. Your body has to be pretty loose if you can take one up the butt. One more squiggly joke and then I'm done. Maybe we can come up with some sort of international symbol for straight or squiggly. And then at a bar you could just flash the symbol to someone you're staring at, and then they know. Or then you both know whether there's a chance or not. I'll think about that. Get back to you. Number 11, hummingbird hypotheses. Or maybe squiggly. Maybe my little hummingbird friend is squiggly. I'm going to assume it's not the same hummingbird, but who knows. 12, salty greeting. Dear reader, listener, squiggly person. See, it's so much fun to say. How could anyone hate a squiggly person? Beyond me. I start getting used to the taste of this Chinese herb. Probably shit out a parasite later. 13 fizzle teas. I'll continue with the squiggly jokes if I come up with some more. But this is really just a continuation of the last recording. Still outside, waiting for the hummingbird to come back and say hi. 14, spectrum expansion. And by the way, listen, I just realized that a whole straight squiggle thing works for anything that could be considered a spectrum, like autism. Or I'm a fucking genius for 2 reasons. 15, barista twist. / girlfriend is squiggly, that would suck. Although married or boyfriend are to wait it out. If married until they have kids, then they'd give up, but boyfriend is different. I think if my barista is squiggly, I can live with that. I'll knock her off so fast. It won't matter. 16. Offensive proof pitch. This should be interesting. Back to squiggly. Or at least I realize, or any alternative to LBGWD would be considered offensive. But how do we consider squiggly offensive? Right, well, I'm screwed now. Some of those extracts from Grok aren't the best, but if you listen to the previous episodes, you'll get it. Or you'll probably remember it. 17. Platform smooch. So, squiggly versus gay. Here's an example. On my way to the library, I went to the train station. There's two squiggly guys kissing on the platform. Or there are two gay guys kissing on the platform. Or two gay dudes. Or two squigglies without any gender whatsoever. But the gender part of that statement doesn't really matter. Once you say squiggly, after that it's whatever. It could be two squigglies dressed in orange shirts and red dresses. I don't know if they're guys or girls. I don't really care. If they look like guys, I'm going to say two squiggly guys dressed in dresses. And if I'm wrong, what the fuck? Who fucking cares? I'm pretty sure it's not a contest. Anyway. And by the way, I take 100% credit for the concept of squiggly. Betty had nothing to do with it. She wasn't my muse about it. And if I make any money off of it, I should get 100% of the profits, and she should get 0%. I'm just saying. Copyright David J. 2025. 18. Park perverts. Plenty of tops or something. Tops, bottoms. Maybe they're squigglies. A couple of them look like a little squiggly. See, the great thing about this is all my jokes still work. So instead of saying people think I'm gay, I can just say people think I'm squiggly. I just have to change one word. 19. Movement maker. It's hard to be offensive if you say squiggly. Trust me, this is going to be big, listener. It's going to change the whole movement. Straight or squiggly, it doesn't matter. Be yourself. 20. Bench buddy. Squiggly person beside me. The bench is beside me. Maybe two. 21. Queer upgrade. See, queer was a perfect word, but it still had that negative connotation. Queer just means different. Somehow we had to add odd onto that. Unfortunately, somehow we had to add odd onto that. Unfortunately, who the fuck wrote that sentence? Jesus. Fire that person. Somehow, comma, we had to add quotation, odd quotation, onto that, unfortunately. But squiggly's better. Queer sounds harsh. I dare someone to say squiggly angrily. 22. Self-doubt squiggle. I guess this is a train script, not a transcript. Get it, Grok? A train script? All the train references? Haha. Funny? Autistic? No? Anything? Nothing? Maybe I'm squiggly. 23. Mind-body breakdown. I think everyone's a little squiggly in their head. It can be thought squiggly or actions. You can be thought squiggly or action squiggly or both. Thought straight, action straight, are you straight? Yes. Thought straight or action straight, both, neither. Wait. No, you caught me. That's how easy it would be to catch someone. Says they're thought straight, but nobody believes it. But again, thoughts are nobody's business. Kind of like what happens behind closed doors. Nobody's business. What happens in your mind is nobody's business. 24. Open mic therapy. Leave the mic open when a creative thought enters my head about squiggly or squiggles. Squiggler. Get it out. Half grok. Put it all together. 25. Scribble body count. Maybe instead of asking someone their body count, they can just show you their scribble or straight line. It would just be, by the way, I probably shouldn't have said white sheets. It's a bit KKA-ish. But a white flag with a scribble on it would signify acceptance of everyone. Well, if you had a white sheet from a double bed, you could probably cut it into 4 flags. Single bed, maybe 2 or 3. Queen, probably 6. King, 8 to 10. So if you got a white sheet, cut her up. Make some flags. Doesn't matter if the edge is a frayed. It's not about perfection. All you're doing is putting a straight line or a squiggle on it. Maybe instead of asking someone their body count, they can just show you their scribble. I think it's a straight line. It would just be, by the way, I probably shouldn't have said white sheets. It's a bit KK-ish. The white flag with a scribble on it would signify acceptance of everyone. 26, virginity plotter. The straight line could be like a graph, or the flag could be like a graph. On the left, body count. On the right, or I guess on the x-axis and the y-axis. On the left, body count. On the right, and then the graph, or basically the line, the angle of the line, which will show you the body count. Where the line starts shows your virginity. Where the line ends shows the last time you had sex, etc., etc. Any gaps in line would be gaps in sex, so technically it would be a straight line with gaps. But it gives you your past, or maybe your future. Maybe you got a lot in the past, and you don't deserve any in the future. Or maybe you got a lot, or not enough in the past, and you deserve more in the future. Or whatever. Who cares? It's a fucked up, silly idea for $5 a month, listener. 27. Wiggly code. Partner some information about your past, same for... This is being cut off, but I'll read it anyways. Partner some information about your past, the same for the squiggly line. The only difference is it's squiggly. And a squiggle up might mean one thing and a squiggle down might mean something else. That's whatever the person wants it to mean. There's no universal generic squiggle code. It has to be explained. So your squiggle is like your signature. It's unique. If someone wants to, they have to ask you about it. All it says is that you aren't straight. Because if you're straight, nobody gives a fuck anyways, because it's boring. "28. Pervert pivot. It's really, I think, the question most people have, straight or not straight, straight or squiggle. I think once you go past squiggle, what does it matter? It's behind closed doors, unless you're a pervert and want to watch," says a guy recording at a kid's park. God damn. There's a soccer ball literally goes by my face, and it's going to go down the hill. Did you hear that, listener? Did you hear a kid kick a soccer ball? You think I'm lying? Unbelievable. Who would lie for $5 fucking a month? I like begging. It's kind of fun. It's a lot easier to do it into a phone than to a person on the street. But then again, I've got cold coffee and free Chinese herbs. Kids playing in the background. Sun on my red neck. This will probably be the longest episode, because I really think 30 minutes was perfect. But I need the money. I can only record for 2, maybe 3 hours a day at the most. I need something to do for another 3 to 4 hours. And I think handing pizza cards and or pizza out to people would be a fun fucking thing to do. Add that to your list, Joe Rogan, of my process. Beg for money. 29. Daughter rebrand. train. "29, also close to the age of my daughter. She was gay, then she was bi. I don't know what she is now. I don't really care which of the LBG blah 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 she is. I've come up with a new name for her. Any other one that, this is sort of beginning of a bit. It's supposed to be, I'm David, I'm retired autistic senior, blah blah blah. I've come up with a new name for her. Anyone that isn't straight, I call squiggly, because I like the sound of it. It's nice with them, gay. Nice with them, homosexual. Nice. Oh, it's nicer than gay, nicer than homosexual, nicer than fag, nicer than dyke, nicer than bitch face, nicer than any of them. Any of those. Well, AI really fucked up in the translation on that. Become a founding member, I'll share the original translation with you. Otherwise, fuck you. $5 a month is enough for me to share a file. They're straight, and then what I call squiggly, because I like the sound of it. It's nicer than gay, nicer than homosexual, nicer than fag, nicer than dyke, nicer than bitch face, nicer than any of those other names. There, your squiggly scripture, unadulterated, printed, park bench it, or substatic. $5 a month says you will, or you won't. Either way, I'm listening. What's the verdict, founder? Well, I'm going to say this last paragraph once more, but not until after I finish watching some little kids run across the park. I swear, when they first get to the park, they're just like dogs. They have to run all the way to the other side, right to the fence. Dad's kicking a ball to bring them back. Kids and dogs, there's not much difference. So we got a 2 to 3 year old girl, 3 to 5 year old boy, 6 to 7 year old boy. So 2 boys and a girl. Race doesn't matter. What difference does it make if the mother is wearing a headscarf or a bikini? Here's a hint. It's October. She's wearing a headscarf. Really beautiful family. Here's the end of my spiel. Friends and family. Past, present, future. Actually, I fucked that up. I was supposed to change that to friends, family, and enemies throughout. Because I gladly take money from enemies. So that's funny as fuck. And they're the ones that want me to fuck up the most. So they're the ones that should have to pay to hear me fuck up. And if they want to criticize me, it's going to cost them $5 a month. So there you go. Train. My leg is completely asleep. My nose is running. It's time to end this bullshit. There. Oh, also it's Sunday. This is perfect. There, your squiggly scripture, unadulterated, unadulterated. There, your squiggly scripture, unadulterated, printed, park bench it, or substack it. $5 a month says you will or won't. Either way, I'm listening. What's the verdict? Founder? Yearly member? Or cheap-ass monthly member? Who forgets for the next 5 years? End recording, David J. Motherfucker, that was perfectly an hour. What a fucking genius.